Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to be talking about something pretty big in Raid Shadow Legends, or more so someone pretty big in Raid Shadow Legends. That's not a joke, by the way. There was recently a fusion put out for this dude here, Yoshi The Drunkard. I actually went ahead and completed this fusion. There were tons of reviews going around online from people who didn't have him yet saying, oh, he's the answer to cut in speed teams in Arena, he's the answer to Arena, cutting in here, cutting in there, that kind of thing. I'm going to go over a few things today of why I think he's not actually that good of a champion, and why I honestly feel like all of my time, resources, and money to get him was wasted. So you can see I have him ascended here with his skills. He's got some gear on. I've speeded him out as best I can on this account. Really, he has accuracy, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go here into the index just to show you his level 60 stats. So he has 20k HP, which is fairly decent. He has 103 base speed, which is really fast. He has decent attack and okay defense. He has better resistance and accuracy based stats than most other champions do, so that's a little bit of a bonus. So his kit is the A1, attacks one enemy, 30% chance of placing a stun debuff for one turn. For all these skills, by the way, I'm going to approach them as if they're not booked, which mine aren't, because I am not wasting books on this guy until he gets a rebalancing. Most people who are playing the game don't have just, 20 legendary books laying around to throw into this guy anyway, so we're going to approach it as if there's no books. So a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff. Pretty shit. And we'll explain why. A2 attacks 2 times at random. 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease accuracy and a HP burn debuff for 2 turns. 75% chance is okay. Decrease accuracy, HP burn, it's okay. Decent against something like the clan boss, considering this is on a 2-turn cooldown when you book it. If it's not, it's on a 3-turn cooldown, which still isn't bad. Decrease accuracy has no relevance in clan boss. So it's okay. It's not the most useful skill. Could be a lot better. A3 places a 50% increase attack and 50% increase accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also has a 50% chance of placing a true fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Has a 75% chance instead on enemies under increased attack buffs. This is a terrible skill. Absolutely terrible. And this was one of the things that was supposed to let him cut in Arena when he was conspired, when he was made up, that kind of thing. This is what people were talking about because of his passive. Fills his champion's turn meter by 4% each time an enemy receives a buff. And then he has the aura, which increases the ally speed in all battles by 19%, which isn't that good. There's auras out there that are a lot better. So the reason this skill is garbage, in my opinion at least, it could be fixed with about 4 words at the end. Grants an extra turn. That would fix a lot of the issues with this champion, because right now what's happening is, sure, he can cut in. You're placing increased attack on yourself and increased accuracy. But if you're about to be nuked anyways, nothing out of those buffs is going to do anything to stop that. It has a 50% chance of placing a true fear debuff, 75% on enemies under increased attack buffs. True fear, for those of you who do not know, has a 50% chance of, when there's any skill used besides the A1, that it'll place it on a cooldown. So, to put this into perspective, let's say that the enemies aren't under increased attack. You are relying on the RNG of a 50% chance of it actually placing the true fear, and then you're relying on more RNG on the 50% chance of it actually stopping their skills. So overall, there is just way too much play in terms of what's supposed to be his crowd control skills. Best case scenario, let's look at this. So he's going to have, what is that, 100% chance to place it under increased attack buffs. So let's say you place True Fear on everybody who's under increased attack. You're still relying on the RNG of a 50% chance for it not to even proc on the enemy, and they still get to nuke you down anyways. If you were to have this skill grant an extra turn, what you could at least do then is go into your A1 and try and at least get a stun debuff, go into your A2, try and get decreased accuracy, HP burn, whatever, right? Hate this skill as well, attacking 2 times at random. Not that good. With how it's set up, it should be 4 times at random, 5 times at random, that kind of thing. If you have champions from the Shadowkin faction like Jintoro, you have champions like Genzin, all these champions that are absolutely amazing in their own right. And then you have somebody like this who comes in and you're relying on RNG more than anything. Granted, I do use this guy in my arena team. I'm probably going to be changing him out soon though, because like I say, just for the crowd control, this absolutely isn't worth it. There's just too much RNG involved. I would rather place out stuff like stuns or sleep debuffs or hell, even decreased speed, that kind of stuff, right? To try or decreased turn meter would be a big one. Nobody would pick this champion to have a chance of placing something that has a chance of stopping a skill from activating. That just doesn't work. It's not even going to be that useful against bosses or anything, because most of them are going to be immune to that sort of thing. So he seems to be kind of an arena specialist. He might be okay for, you know, clan wars, that kind of thing. Or sorry, faction wars. Faction wars, he'd probably be fairly decent actually, but for just regular play in the arena, he's not really worth it. The ways they could fix this then, and I kind of mentioned this already, if they gave this skill at the end, because how it works right now is you have to ascend him to 3 stars to actually unlock this. If they unlock this by default but made the third 3-star ascension, that it gives this skill, grants an extra turn at the end, this skill would instantly become a lot more usable, a lot more important in the game, and a lot more, you know, actual reason to book him out, use him, that sort of thing. The other thing they could do is they could make this attacks 4 times at random, that kind of thing, you know, get more actual possibilities for damage, decrease accuracy out there, that kind of thing. Because the issue with this is, if you have a enemy target that's trying to place a debuff on you before a nuker or something like that, right, and you attack 2 times at random to decrease accuracy, you might not even hit that debuffer. You might hit the 2 teammates who are just there for damage, which the debuff, or sorry, the decreased accuracy isn't going to do anything for them. So it'd be super useful if you could even pick your target, or if it attacked and it was an AoE, or 4 times at random, that kind of thing, right? Because right now his kit's just way too much RNG. A1, what they could do here is make it a 50% chance of placing a stun debuff, something like that, right? Instead of just 40 when it's all the way booked, because I'm not dumping, like, what would this be, 4, 10, 14 books for this guy. I'm not putting 14 legendary books into Yoshi to try and get this shit booked out. It's not worth it right now. They need to increase the stun chance. They need to make this attacks 4 times at random, or it's an AoE, or they need to give this an extra turn at the end. And until that happens, Yoshi isn't really worth using all that much. This might be kind of an unpopular opinion. I don't really care. I'm like I mentioned earlier, I'm not taking a chance placing a skill that's going to have a chance to stop an enemy attack. I want to place skills that will stop. I want to take a chance to place a skill that will stop an attack, like a stun, a sleep, a decreased turn meter, that kind of thing, right? So Yoshi the Drunkard overall, as he stands in the game right now, kinda trash. This is going to be kind of a review. I'm not even going to showcase him at this point. As you can see here, the reviews, they kind of reflect that he's a little bit, you know, a little bit garbage. I'm not sure why people are rating him so highly for Faction Wars, considering we don't even have Faction Wars out yet. A little unfair in my opinion, but you can see everywhere else, even in the arenas, he's not rated that highly. There's going to be a lot better champions for him. Save your resources, level him up to 50, throw some gear on him, ascend him. I would say don't book him, don't worry about masteries right now, that kind of thing. He's absolutely not worth it. Wait for hopefully Plarium to do a rebalancing on him, realize that they kind of screwed up a little bit, because this new faction is going to be kind of a power creep faction. I did a video just yesterday on how Conscript is one of the hardest hitting uncommons in the game. Check that video out if you want. And you know, you have people like Jintoro, however you want to say his name, who are going to be massive against like clan boss, stuff like that. So overall, for this to be a legendary champion that was a fragment, Like I say, my resources, my time, and my money was absolutely wasted, and I hope that they fix this in the near future. Otherwise, that's going to be probably a bit of a spending hiatus for me on the game. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts on Yoshi are down below, and I hope everyone has a good day.